So we're gonna look at the Tampa Bay Bucks. This is a great team in terms of the organizational wise, how they were able to turn Tom Brady leaving and retiring and having guys go in and out of the organization after their Super Bowl run and still be able to rebuild a team where they can be competitive. And this past year, they were uh, extremely surprising, but they still got it done when they needed to get it done. So overall, you got to give credit to the Bucks, man. This is a Bucks team that was 9-8 last year. They were 4-4 at home. They were 5-4 away. They were 4-2 in the division. They scored 348 points, but they gave up 325. So again, still more points than they gave up, so that's good. They were 17th in passing yards, 224.2. They were dead last in rushing yards with 88.8, and I'm not going to just blame Rashad White. He was a little inconsistent, but this offensive line needed to get better, and I think they did that this offseason to get to that point. They're 20th in points for with 20 and a half. They were 7th in points against with 19.1. They did not give up that many points a game, and their defense was pretty good. And I think they might have lost Devin White, but I still believe that this defense has the ability of turning this around and still being an elite defense. The Bucks have always had an elite defense. I don't think they really shied away from that, so good on them. Yeah, this is a good Bucks team. In terms of like depth chart, they just have a really hard schedule. So let's just look at the depth chart real quick. Looking at the Bucks, their depth chart, obviously, I always start with offensive line. The left tackle Tristan Wirfs, freak of nature athlete, big body, does not does not let the QB get sacked on his side. Just automatically, he is the next Trent Williams in this league. Yeah, he's phenomenal, man. He's phenomenal. The number one was Trent Williams, so in number two, I mean, it's he's there. He's there at such a young age. He's there. At left guard, Breederson, upside, young guy. Definitely can show that he can be pretty impactful for this team. I think he will. I think they have some leadership up front where he's going to be just fine. They drafted Barton from Duke, who is a great draft pick. There was a couple centers that were fantastic, like Jackson Powers Johnson. Um, but having him, he's he's gonna take over and be the center that they needed. And this running offense is gonna be a lot better than last year. Guarantee that because of the presence that they brought in, and they brought in a really good center from college. Man, Barton is gonna be that guy. He's gonna be fantastic. Right guard, you got a solid upside guy in Cody Mock. He's scary, man. You look at him, he's scary, and he plays ferociously. I definitely believe that he's going to play just fine on this offensive line. He's going to be great. He's going to teach Britterson a thing or two, definitely. So I do like Cody Mock on the team. And then you got right tackle Godecki, who was an honorable mention at right tackle. Definitely solid year. Definitely could get better. But at the same time, they have comparing to Tristan Wirfs is pretty hard. So Godecki is there. He is one of the top tackles in the league. So he needs to be. He is recognized. He's relevant, and that's all you really need to know is that he does not give up that many sacks. I don't think he really gets penalized that much. He can get better, like I said, but he's young. He'll get better. It's a really good offensive line. It's young and it's ready to go and beefy. So that's what you need to protect the QB who they have. Baker Mayfield, honorable mention. He revived his career here. He definitely got treated a little bit disrespectfully in Cleveland. I think a lot of people were writing him off. A lot of people were saying he's terrible. And, yes, he's had some terrible moments. But Baker Mayfield has been a pretty solid dude for Tampa, revived his career, had some great weapons with him, and he really has become the leader there. Um, at the running back position, Rashad White, who again I think got criticized a little too much. Yes, he was inconsistent, but I believe he's got a lot of talent, and he's going to be able to run the ball more this year, along a great offensive line there. I think Rashad White's going to really step up and become a better guy. He was an honorable mention for running back, so he is talented. You look at the wideouts. I think their receiving core is pretty solid. You got Mike Evans, number 6 in the top 10, 1,000-yard king. I mean, future Hall of Famer. Yeah, Baker loves the guy. Tampa loves the guy. He's going to be fine. He's going to get another 1,000-yard season unless he gets injured, but still see him doing his thing. On the other side, you're going to still have Chris Godwin, who's an honorable mention. Had a good year. Again, not the flashiest, not the best receiver you could see, but overall, still had a great year. Still a pretty impactful player. And then they got a really good draft pick. I said great draft pick. I think it's a great draft pick from UW because I saw that man play and he did ball out. I think he can ball out now in Tampa. Jalen McMillan, I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to have a really good year. I think he's going to surprise people, and he's going to learn under Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So I think he's going to be great. You're looking at a Cade Otton at the tight end position. Um, he's got upside. He's young. I think he's definitely got, he can get better numbers. I think he will get better numbers. And I do believe that he can um, showcase what talent he's got. I think he's got a great talent for this team. I think he's a great foundation for the team. And I'm excited to see what he does on the offensive side of the football more this year. Now, defensive wise, you got a 3-4 base. You're looking at Kalijah Cansey for DN. He was a rookie last year. He's got a lot of upside. I mean, there was a point where he could have been maybe a rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year candidate. He looks solid. He looks solid. That's a great thing for him. They need defense. They need to replace some older guys. Cansey's great. Vita Vea, he's been an established guy in Tampa for a long time. Run stuffer. Super strong. Honorable mention on my D tackle list. And he's relevant, man. He's really is dangerous. He can be a top 10 guy, and I'm excited to see what he does on the daily with this team. And then you got Hall on the other side, who's young and unproven. I think he's definitely wanted to see people want to see more. I think Logan Hall can do so. Just like I said, he's young and unproven, so we'll see how that goes. On the linebacker position, you're going to start with Yaya Diaby, who he has a lot of upside. Definitely had a great year this past year. Definitely, I look to him and see him being a really key contributor to this Tampa Bay defense. And yeah, I mean, there's he can do a little bit of everything. That's good. A great coverage guy. At the left hand side, you got KJ Britt. Um, he's unproven. He's young. Hasn't really showcased much. Hasn't really played much. So bringing him in to start, I think he can definitely learn a lot from Levante David. No Devin White. So I think Levante will teach him a thing or two because he is also a future Hall of Famer in this team. So KJ Britt, just unproven questions on them on that guy. But Levante David's not a question. At number 10 on my inside linebacker list, does everything at such a high level. Still, a veteran in this league and still does it like he was year one. Like I said, future Hall of Famer, um, All Pros, Pro Bowls. Like he's gonna get it done. I think he's gonna still be efficient at his job. I'm excited to see what he does. And then the other side, Joe Tron Shoyinka, he needs to step up. I think I would like to see him get more sacks. I need him to be more of an edge threat for them. But overall, I mean, he's got talent, he's got upside. I do think he just needs to get more pressure on the QB. With the corners, you got Jamel Dean, who I think is a solid corner. They kept him. Um, they did not keep Carlton Davis, but they kept him. I think that was a good deal. I think Jamel Dean is in the role of a leader. I think he's got to be a leader at this point because of the corners being so young. But I still think he's a solid corner. I think he'll do well. On the other side, you're going to have McCollum, who's got upside. He's young. He has showcased his talent last year. Definitely believe in him and what he can do. Absolutely. And then the nickelback, another upside, a young guy who did showcase what he's got, and that's easy in. I believe he's a fast corner. I think he reads offense as well. I think, like I said, Jamel Dean's presence will help both of these guys build themselves. But Bucks have always had a pretty good defense. They've always had younger guys that needed to develop into roles, and it worked out for them. I think this is going to work out for them. I like Easy N. I like McCollum. And then you got your safeties, which I really like. You got Antoine Winfield Jr., who is the best number one free safety on my free safety list because he does everything so well. At his height, you don't think he can hit. He hits hard. He's all over the football field. He's like an Earl Thomas on the really on the game days, man. Like he really does everything so well. High IQ. And then they're bringing back his old buddy Jordan Whitehead, who won a Super Bowl with Tampa in 2020. Coming back home, I think he's going to have a good year. He had a good year at the Jets. I think he definitely gets a little disrespected. People don't really see much of his production, but he does produce at a high level. I like Jordan Whitehead. I like where he's at. I like what he's going to do with this team. I think he's a solid choice to complement Antoine Winfield Jr. and that Bucks defense, along with McLaughlin, the kicker, who's an honorable mention. Not bad. Uh, pretty strong leg. Punters, Camarda, who's a young punter. And then their solid draft pick of Bucky Irving, a running back, can help with some carries with Rashad White. I think he's going to be a great kick returner. And yeah, this team overall, like, there's a lot to be happy about. Definitely a lot to be happy about. I think they're trending in the right direction. I think they're trying to get younger as that 2020 team kind of diminishes from existence with some players leaving, and you don't have as many members. They're trying to do what they can. They're trying to compete in the South, and they're obviously trying to compete in the NFC, which got better this past offseason. Taking a look at the Tampa Bay Bucks schedule, it's a hard schedule, man. They did win the South. They are the division champs. They did lose to the Detroit Lions in the divisional round, so the tests are going to be harder. They're a divisional winner. So with that said, how is this going to pan out for them? Are they going to be able to, uh, you know, are they going to be able to take this challenge with them? Obviously, I can't predict the future. I could see them. Maybe they can be a great team. Maybe they can be an awesome team. They can win the division again. They can showcase some talent that I've never seen before. The young guys can step up. You don't know. But I'm basing this off the depth chart and all that and what I could see. And this is going to be a struggle bus year because of the Falcons. The Falcons upgrades are exceptional, and they have a hard schedule, man. Like, it is a hard schedule. So let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Bucks schedule. So week one, Commanders. They got that in the bag. They're the Bucks. They're a better team. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna play Detroit in Detroit. That's not gonna go well. The Detroit has a complete football team. They're definitely gonna demolish this team. Then you got to go play Denver in Tampa. I think they'll beat Denver. Bo Nix ain't ready for that. I think the Bucks defense is ready. They're gonna go up against Philly. I believe the Eagles are angry from the wild card loss. I think they're gonna beat the Bucks there. Then they go to Atlanta. I see them losing to Atlanta, and I also see them losing to New Orleans. It's just one of those NFC South battles that they always get one on each other every year. So then you got to play Baltimore in Tampa. I think Baltimore, regardless of the losses they had, they're still the better team than the Bucks. So I'm gonna pick the Baltimore Ravens there. So you're looking at it, you're like, damn, like four straight losses. Like, what do we do? They're gonna come back. They're gonna beat the Falcons in Tampa. I don't think they're gonna get annihilated. I don't think they're gonna get upset. They will beat them. Go to Kansas City. Definitely losing Kansas City. It's the Chiefs. Then they're gonna play the Niners. It's the Niners. They're gonna lose to the Niners. Two like two hard back to back games. It's awful. So then after that, you're gonna go to New York. They're gonna beat the Giants in New York. They're gonna beat the Panthers at Carolina. Then they're gonna go and play the Raiders at home. I think the Raiders will shock them. I think the Raiders can definitely win that game. Go play against the Chargers. I think the Chargers are gonna beat them. Play at Dallas. I think Dallas will definitely beat them. Then you got Carolina and New Orleans to close it out. They're going to close it out with dubs, and their record's going to be 7-10. So it is a downgrade. It is two less games that they are winning this year than last year, and potentially probably not a playoff bid. But this is a team that's young. This is a team that's hungry. This is a team that's ready to move on and get better. I do believe that you give it this year, then you give it the off season, you get a couple more pieces. This is a team that can really do something in the NFC, that can really be somebody, and fans should not be discouraged. I really do believe the Bucks can go back to relevancy very soon. sooner rather than later. So this is not a franchise that's going to be terrible for years. This is a franchise that honestly can, and I think will win a lot of football games. But this year, with that schedule, it's tough to see that. But that's where I'm at, 7-10 for the Bucks.